Good afternoon and welcome to Anfield and welcome to LFC TV's live build-up to Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur. It's a game that doesn't just promise drama, it guarantees it. In fact, this is the highest scoring fixture in Premier League history, a fixture Liverpool have lost just once in the last 31 Anfield meetings. Arne Slot told the media on Friday that he expects to win every home game, and the Liverpool boss has rung the changes for this one. There's a start for Rio Engamoa. Alisson Becker is fit and back in goal again. Mo Salah and Hugo Ekitike drop to the substitutes bench. Igor Tudor's Spurs, meanwhile, arrive in full crisis mode, winless in 2026, 6 straight defeats. This is their longest run in their entire history, but beware, Richarlison, who has an extraordinary record at this very ground. Dominic Solanke keeps finding moments against Liverpool, and teenage star Archie Gray has some real quality. Over the next 75 minutes, we'll bring you exclusive interviews, tactical analysis, and the numbers that matter. This is LFC TV, and this is Liverpool against Tottenham Hotspur. And this is Mother's Day at Anfield. Phil Thompson and Martin Kelly have made their temporary apologies at home, and both expecting plenty of goal-mouthed action today because neither of these teams can afford to slip up for very different reasons. Let's check on the Liverpool side then, and to confirm that in full, Alisson Becker in goal, who, remember, didn't travel with Liverpool midweek. Slot was hopeful of him training with the team on Friday. Looks as though that happened, so he is in the side from the start. Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk potentially playing together at the heart of Liverpool's defence again. 29 games on the trot now for Virgil van Dijk. That's the longest run of any player since 2010. The oldest player at 34 as well. Who knows, could be another big contract for him lying in wait if he continues this way. Florian Wirtz, 73 minutes, couple of chances midweek as well. Dominic Szoboszlai, where he will play, will debate as well. He's in double figures for goals this season. McAllister, Gakpo, could he play through the middle? 1 off 50 goals now for Liverpool. Dirk Kuyt, the last to do that. And then the continuation of the 11. Andrew Robertson back in the side again. His last Premier League goal was against Spurs in 2024. Frimpong, Gravenberch, and then young Rio Engamoa as well completes that team for Liverpool here this afternoon. Spurs have been scratching about, trying to get an 11 together for this one. They're decimated with injuries just at present. But we can tell you just as we get the team to us here that Richarlison will start up front. We'll discuss that why that could be such a big issue for Liverpool later on. And Dominic Solanke rather, slip of the tongue there. They wish they had Dominic Szoboszlai. I think Tottenham is the man up front for them here this afternoon. So welcome in. It's a beautiful day at Anfield. I say that just as the blue sky that I was looking at a few seconds ago has been replaced by cloud, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. Nevertheless, the usual playing surface that looks more like a snooker table than a football pitch waits for Martin Kelly and Phil Thompson.
Are we in March? Look at the state of the pitch and the sun's shining, Pete, after the rain this morning.
Say it quietly.
Let's hope that it's an absolute beautiful day.
Tom, what about the team then? We were debating it in the press room before as to whether Rio Engamoa could get the start. He hinted at it, Arne Slot, that he had a decent chance of starting one of the next three. He's in at this one.
He's in at this one. I think he needed to be, but when he had the plan in that, I was a bit disappointed that he didn't get 15-20 minutes against Galatasaray. I thought Hugo was tiring in that last 15 minutes or so. Put Gakpo up front and bring Rio on the left. But he had played against Wolves, and maybe he just didn't want to risk him. His energy levels are not that high. But listen, the boy's got to play at some point. The boy is genuine. He gets you off your seat. He is just a wonderful player, so I get that. Frimpong, yes. Robbo rotating with Kerkers at the moment. You get all that. So, although he's made the changes, he's certainly not weakened the side, and he's also got Galatasaray coming next Wednesday.
Kels, for you, it's obviously, and you've all been there as young Liverpool players, to get the nod in a big Premier League game like this. He will feel this opportunity has been coming for quite a while.
Yeah, definitely. I think us speaking before, us and all the fans here would have wanted Rio to start today. I'm made up Joe's getting a start at centre-half. He's a centre-half a bit like myself, who's been deployed at right-back, so for him to play centre half today will be made up with that, getting Robbo back in, giving that little bit of solidity in the team. I hope, Gakpo deserves to get a little bit of consistency now. I think he's still proved with his numbers that he's still got that, but he just needs to start putting them performances together that we all know he can do.
I think the interesting thing is who's going to play on the right. Because with Wirtz being in there, Gakpo and Rio, is Wirtz going to play as a number 10, but we have that sort of diamond shape, and Dominic's playing on that right-hand side. It's going to be interesting. As Arne Slot's seen something in this Spurs side which he can create a bit of confusion in there with the side, because he's confused me, I must admit, so it's just not easy. But I think it's a really interesting side, and I think we know what it is. We've been beaten in midweek. We need to react. We need to keep on winning games, and I just feel as though today's like it. Today and Wednesday, 2 huge games.
Mo Salah is the flip side of that, Kells. We've been so used to seeing him as a shoe-in, but you look at the amount of games he started. He started all 7 Premier League games since he came back from AFCON. There was going to be, from time to time, an opportunity where he can maybe rest those legs of Mo Salah's.
Yeah, definitely. I think you said yourself after the Wolves game when he scored, we thought, is the Mo from last season back with us? But them games from last season and the stats that he gave out and helps us the victory of winning the league, that can be tiring at times, and then you don't know how much going away to the AFCON has took it out. You then got to come back to the squad and fit straight back in. Mo's world class. All of us here as fans want to see the Mo that we know, and sometimes when you are a manager and you can look to the bench and you've got players like him, Ekatike, to come on if the game isn't going your way, that's sometimes, you've been a manager, Phil, so sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah, do you think he's maybe saving his legs for, because he's played all those games, saving him for midweek?
I think when you get to that age,
Galatasaray.
I think when you get to that age, being rested today, if we could still get a result, would make a world of difference to someone who's done that much, played that many games. I'm trying to compare him to other players, but you see like the likes of Harry Kane, who just churn out games. It's so hard at this level. It's getting faster and faster each year, the game. So for him to be rested today, I don't think is a bad thing. I think we'll see him if the game isn't going our way. But the game on Wednesday, there's no doubt I think Mo will play in that.
You would think that he would understand as well that from time to time this will happen, but from Rio Engamoa's perspective, Phil, that he will have probably pulled young Rio and said, this is your big chance now to really show the Liverpool fans what you've been made of, and we've seen it fleetingly. He changes this game that we're seeing out the weekend, and as Kel said before, there's been this desperation to see more of him now.
And that's the learning process for Rio, and it was interesting to hear Virgil, to hear Robbo after the Wolves game. It was like a little thing which, he's done really well and he's done great, but he's still got to sort of learn. Things like that. When he got to that byline, if he'd have tried to drive it across, it wasn't the gap in between the goalkeeper and the defender. He dinked it to the far post. That's where you got to frighten teams, that you can do different things when you start. And the boy's such a talent. And he needs his head. And he's being given it. His chances will come more and more between now and the end of the season.
Opportunity knocks for him, Martin, but also for Liverpool. The importance of this week can't be underestimated, and all of the players, the ones that are on the bench, the ones that are pushing hard in the background, will all be needed. We go from this to Galatasaray to Brighton away next week, and with the games running out, there is no room for error now for Liverpool.
Definitely, I think everyone in this squad, like you said, will be in part playing their part over the next couple of weeks. I think you've got this game here today. If we do what all of our fans, we want to go on from here today and really be rejuvenated about coming back on Wednesday and get that we've got to take the roof off on Wednesday to get back from that 1-0 deficit at the minute. But I think going into them games, we've got Brighton away and then we've got City in the FA Cup after that. I think it is that's where you need the squad, and Arne needs to get our team going into that with confidence. I think today he's one of them where he's started the players where he thinks it'll do them a world of good if they get through 90 minutes and show what they can do.
Well, in terms of the opposition, you will know all about Spurs at the moment, but let's put that into some numbers for you as well. And you are kind of reluctant to say that if you could hand-pick an opponent, then Tottenham might just be that. But that is the way it unfolds in numbers as well. They would be top of that list. Not only is their record here really poor, can see only Wolves and Newcastle come away with fewer points, Tomo.
Wow, yeah, it's quite something that for Spurs. So just looking at it, you'd find that astonishing for a club of sort of Spurs standing is quite something. But listen, and I know we'll talk about the players that they've got missing today, which is a big worry. We've got to do our own job. And it's great looking at these stats, and everybody's talking in there about that this season how it's running away from Spurs. But we've got to do our job. We can't think about anything about their hardships and everything, players who are missing. It's got to be about us. And you just got to go out there and think, this is the best team in the league that we're playing today. After getting beaten midweek, we've got to make sure that we're at it. And we treat them, if they're nervous, which I think in all instances they are, we have to make it uncomfortable for them in that first 15, 20 minutes. And we've not been great at starting, have we? Yeah. We've got to hit the ground running straight away.
Just to give you an insight on their bench as well, they've only named 7 subs today, Spurs, 2 goalkeepers, 3 teenagers. You know, it was whoever was fit probably travelled with that squad today. And like Tomo says, Kells, you can barely believe they would be probably well within the top 10 richest clubs in world football at the moment to be in the predicament they're in. Nobody really saw that coming, did they?
No, definitely not. And I think, you know, this game today for the lads who haven't played, or I just look at the centre-halves partnership there, who's probably not played together all season this year. That is a test in its own when you're asking the top 6 teams who play football now, and you're looking for that little pockets of space that all the top teams go into. When you're defending that in a low back 5, which I really think that Tottenham are going to come here and sit back and try and get whatever they can out of the game, it's really difficult when you've not played with someone and you don't know if he's going to go or not. If your communication's not there, you don't know whether to get. If a player comes into your space, if it's your job or if it's the midfielders, I think in a flip side of that, the manager would be saying, you know, my squad who I would start today isn't here, so for the lads who are playing, it's sort of a free hit. But they've sleptwalked into a relegation battle. They have, and with the lack of leadership on the pitch by silly reds and yellow cards, you look from a football fan from the outside looking in, you go, how can Tottenham, who spend that amount of money, get themselves into this position with the squad they've got? They've had trouble with injuries, but I think if you're Tottenham, you spend that money. If you got to depend on the youth, they should be able to come in and do a job for your team, and them not having a manager in that them having a new manager in that relegation battle, as opposed to the others who's had a manager from the start. It's difficult for them.
Yeah, difficult time that will continue. Looking for their 19th permanent manager since Premier League football began. It's an incredible situation that we will get into as we go throughout the pre-match show today. And it's one of those games that brings stars from all over the world to Anfield, as we've become accustomed to now. And our reporter Glenn Price is with one right now.
Yeah, thanks, Pete, here with Dicker the Kicker, place kicker for the Los Angeles Chargers. Welcome back to Anfield. What number visitor for you?
This is number 4. I'm pumped. So excited to be here, you know, kind of see the guys and see what's going to happen today.
What other games have you been for?
Real Madrid here in 2022. It was a loss, sadly. And then last year, Sunderland, or who was it? Wait, Southampton, right? Yeah, Southampton last year. And then my other game, I forget, it was 3 years ago, I think. Forget who it was now. It's been a while.
So every off-season, is it conditioned that you've got to come to Anfield then?
I've got to come now. Every off-season, I try to make a trip out here, come enjoy it, bring some new guys every year. So it's fun to be out here with a couple new teammates and have some fun.
What is it like being here? Just your spiritual home?
I think the energy here, right? Yeah. Everybody's excited to be around, and then once the game starts here, everybody's singing and just singing together, so you'll never walk alone, and just enjoy the atmosphere. It's incredible.
How different is that atmosphere to SoFi or other NFL stadiums?
I think it's way different. I think just the ability for fans to sing the entire game and just to cheer a team on throughout the highs and lows. In the NFL, it's a lot more quiet during games, and they cheer in the big moments, but here it's throughout the whole game.
you want to just tell us how you became a Liverpool fan then? I think you chose your jersey number for the Chargers because of Liverpool.
I did. I chose my jersey number because of Mo Salah. I had to. I was looking up. I had the choice between number 11 and 12, and I saw, it's like, you know what, we're going to go with Mo here. But I became a Liverpool fan. I grew up in Shanghai, China, and my friend Tom Fotheringham, they live over in Chester, and they were in China at the time, and now every time I come out, I see him, and we come to the games together.
A bit closer to home, the World Cup's in America this summer, a few games in LA. You going to try and go to a few games?
I'm trying to go to every single game I can, so I'm trying to make everything and hopefully see some big moments.
And Liverpool are also coming to the United States. I think it might clash with training camp, so you're not going to be able to go, unfortunately.
It always clashes with training camp. It's always sad. I'm always bummed to miss it, but I think they're on the East Coast. One day when they come to the West Coast, we'll have a good time.
Well, Cameron, enjoy today. Thanks very much for speaking to us. Pete, it's back to you in the corner.
Thank you, guys. Let's hope he enjoys a memorable day here at Anfield. And if this means anything to you, he's got a 92.7% success rate with his field goals, which is probably just slightly better than Jan Molby's record from the spot. But Martin Kelly, who's here today, big fan of the NFL.
Yeah, I do watch it.
You're a bit starstruck there, seeing him.
To be honest, I didn't know the guy, but when you said about the stats, I thought, you know, that guy who has to come on once every blue moon in a game to score them field goals.
Yeah.
That was some record. My team's Washington Commanders, so they haven't been in the. They got the equivalent of the semis in the Super Bowl last year, so yeah. They haven't won the Super Bowl since 1991. So we're.
I think what we are seeing is real influence in American sports in the Premier League now. It wasn't that far ago that we were seeing defenders celebrate tackles. I mean, that wasn't happening even when you were playing. This is the influence that this American sport has got on everybody now, even in the Premier League, Tomo.
Well, it is, isn't it? You look at the ownership and everything that's at Birmingham, and you're just looking at the influence coming into it. You look at the two boys at Wrexham. I know that they're not sportsmen, but it's the influence and what it brings. And that's not even the Premier League. And it's just an extra sort of bit of stardust to English football, or Welsh football as well. So it does add a bit of glamour to it. It does great. I didn't have a clue. I'm not into the MFL. Sammy Lee is the guy. He's the guru of the NFL. He'd have been here now. He'd be getting autographs and everything. But he'd have probably wanted to kick Sammy over the crossbar. So it is very, very nice. But you see how the Premier League is grasping people. You know, even there is Mo Salah. You know, watches him and everything, and that's why now it is such a global game. It's just wonderful.
Probably a good chance to mention the summer tour as well, even if you are watching from there or you're travelling out there. 3 games coming to you from the USA in July for Liverpool Football Club as well. We play Sunderland in Nashville, Wrexham in New York City, and Leeds in Chicago as well. 3 games coming to you from the USA in July then. Sunderland in Nashville, Wrexham in New York City, and Leeds in Chicago as well. Yeah, we look forward to that. We will be here before you know it. We're going to hear from Steve Hunter very soon up in the commentary gantry, but we've been joined by Matt Parrish, who will be a familiar face to you, I'm sure, if you're a Liverpool fan, head of the LFC Foundation. And today is a very special day as the annual Community Day arrives again at Anfield. Afternoon to you, Matt.
Afternoon. How are you? All right?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Big day for you. Big couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah, we've got this today. Legends game in 2 weeks' time against Borussia Dortmund. And we at 59,500 sales, I think. So I've got about 500 seats to go. So I think the big man here is in training, so he says. So it's, yeah, we're looking forward to it.
What is today all about, Matt? Tell us a little bit about the idea. This is something that spreads right across the Premier League?
Yeah, so it's part of the Premier League More Than a Game campaign. So it's an opportunity to highlight the work that all the clubs are doing, amazing work in their respective communities. And we obviously focus that on our work here. And as you know, we've talked about it before, we supported nearly 150,000 people last year, and most of them, about 120,000, were here in the Liverpool City region, but also 20,000 in programmes we run in partnership around the world. So it's an opportunity for us to just highlight that, also raise a few quid. We're doing some fundraising in some of the lounges, but the Premier League support clubs from Premier League down to the conference in terms of their community work, so just to raise the profile of that across the country.
It's so front and centre. Any fan you speak to on the way into the ground is so married into the work that you do, particularly like you mentioned here. It's on the doorstep, and we see, you know, such awful situations that are affecting normal families that you're helping out in right here in the Liverpool region.
Yeah, and I think, look, our base is, half a mile down the road at Anfield Sports and Community Centre, and we'd run activities 7 days a week from there with partners as well. But even here from the stadium, so the stadium chefs provide 1,000 meals every Thursday, and we distribute those to community centres we work with, and it's such a shame that it's needed, but it is needed, and I think it's and hopefully that idea that someone's football club has them in mind and is looking out for them. I think the guys supported at Christmas when we did hampers, 2,500 hampers again here from the stadium. So those things that it might not sound like a huge thing, but it can make a massive difference to people's lives. And then our week in, week out stuff is primarily about working with young people in employment, health and learning. So just hopefully to give them an opportunity that perhaps without that support they might not be able to access.
Recruitment is a big part of modern day football, as you know, but also for the Legends fixture as well. 8-sub squad this year. Thiago's coming back to roll back the years. Stevie as well. I mean, there's so much about that day that is magical, Matt, for people that can't get access ordinarily for tickets, get to come inside this cathedral and pay homage to some heroes that, will always be the heroes. They would always have probably the posters on the walls if their other half would let them. Yeah,
I mean, the squad's pretty eye-watering. I think it's very strong. I think, but Dortmund will have a strong squad as well. But I think it's another example of this club, and it is different in the sense that I think this will be our 9th Legends game where we've sold out the stadium. I think it's only Real Madrid that do that. Other UK clubs do have Legends games, but none of them sell out like that. And I think you're right. It's an opportunity for families to come that maybe don't always, but also opportunity to see these guys play again. And they're, as Martin will hopefully agree, they're competitive games. They're not kickabouts, are they? They're hotly contested. So we're looking forward to it.
I was with Stevie the other day. He was saying he's already thinking of ways to win the game. He never changes, does he? Sammy Lee, by the way, was saying it's one of his proudest achievements to go to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea. You were involved in that as well.
Do you know what? Martin and myself were talking just in the media room earlier on, and he was saying, what a great day it was. And I said, it was one of the greatest days. That sounds daft for all what I did. But to have that emotion, they had the best squad, Chelsea, that I've ever seen. They drove them on every time somebody come on, you were going, this was unbelievable. But for that emotion, to be in that dressing room with our players, ex-players, after the game, to see the work, what the foundation does, there was people who you think, they were all picking up shorts and socks and everything, cleaning up. The dressing room was immaculate when we left. That was how much we do things, how they did. But it wasn't, it sounds daft. I loved every minute of it, and so did the boys who played. We were so much the underdogs. We won 1-0, and it was an absolute great feeling.
The party went on late into the night, so I believe. Also, and more important than probably most of the things that you've seen around social media this week, is around the community champion, the new captain of the Premier League community is Eddie Sullivan, who hopefully you've heard about before, but you'll have met him during some of the clips that were just magical this week. Virgil van Dijk handing over the flag to him. Eddie's been around forever, Matt, and everybody's in love with him. What a guy. And you're lucky enough to work alongside him. He's there every day.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable guy. I think he's worked for us for nearly 30 years. He turned 70 this year. Everyone knows him. I hadn't worked here long, and my wife made the mistake of telling someone on holiday in Spain where I worked, and then the next day a little kid was going, hello mate, do you know Eddie Sully? Everyone knows him, but the outpouring of love for him after that video has been unbelievable. I think we had staff lining up to want to be part of it. He's the first person you look for in the office, and he was totting up what he's done. He's worked in something like 20 different countries representing the club and the foundation, but he's still delivering on the Kicks programme, Premier League Kicks programme, and he's been doing that for 15, 20 years. He's now coaching some of the kids he used to coach. He's a great guy. He's local. He's from North Liverpool. So
he's exactly what this club is all about. Honestly, he is so humble, always ready and there to help everybody. I've known Sully for absolute years, so it's not just the foundation of people that he works. Ex-players have known Sully for absolute years, and he deserves everything he gets. He's a proper ledge.
Here. Enjoy today, Matt. Lots of hard work ahead, and we will hear more about Eddie Sullivan as we go today. Thanks, Matt, for your time. And let's head up into the main stand and see if we can catch up with Steve Hunter, who, like every other week, is looking forward to this one this afternoon. Steve.
Thank you, Pete, my friend. Yes, and first of all, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Mother's Day to all the lovely mums out there. Hope you feel special, and we're going to get a win today, aren't we? I can feel it in my bones for this one. And talking about the women as well, got to mention Liverpool FC women. What a day it's been for them. They had a massive win over Leicester City. It means that Liverpool are 4 points clear now of the relegation zone. A huge win. Beata Olsen, the fans call her Queen Bee, scoring her 10th goal of the season, and man of the match, Kerry Holland, netted a late penalty. Well done to Gareth Taylor, all the players out there. Fantastic performance. So Spurs again at Anfield here today. Really looking forward to this one. We've got a great record against Tottenham, of course, that we always have. And we will never forget, will we? I don't think for a long, long time, forever. Last season's game against Tottenham, the 5-1 title secured number 20. Let's take you back to that glorious day. It was special. This ground was shaking, and that's just me and Aldo. Aldo certainly enjoyed it. Relive it now. Good afternoon, everybody. We know what this means. Can we get the job done today? A point is all we need. The atmosphere here, it's amazing, isn't it? It's unbelievable, this noise decibel. To the right, dangerous delivery, header towards goal, it's in. And we didn't defend that well at all. Inside there, cutting inside a doggy. Great ball, double fly! Yeah! Cleared away, Gakpo, good shot, can he shoot? He gets a shot! Yeah! Brilliant! Almost still, gives it to Mo Salah, in the box. Salah turns a doggy! Goal! Here's Alexander-Arnold, edge of the area. Just a first touch, great challenge! Alexander-Arnold to Salah! Wow, take me back to that day. Who was that nutter, by the way? Not Aldo. But special, innit? That was just a magical day. Winning number 20. It was just... I remember it sent tremors around Anfield. I remember we had a story on the website about the actual sound levels were almost broken that day. It was absolutely incredible, wasn't it? And we'll never forget that moment. McAllister's stunning strike, the VAR drama as well with one of the goals as well, and when it went in, the noise levels were just incredible, and we went a goal down on it. But an amazing day, hopefully a good day for Liverpool today. Another massive week coming up with the Premier League and Champions League. Pete, it's all yours, top man.
Thank you very much indeed, Steve. We had goosebumps, not just because of the temperatures, but oh, what a moment, what a day that was. Time for viewers on social media to leave us now, but our Matchday Live build-up will continue on LFC TV and All Red Video. So if you're watching this and aren't yet a subscriber, then you can find details on how to sign up online at liverpoolfc.com/watch. And coming up in the rest of the pre-match show, we'll hear from Arne Slot and the Spurs boss Igor Tudor. At kick-off, Steve and Neil Mellor will talk you through all of the action with our live audio commentary service, just like the old days on the radio. And then at full time, we'll be back down here pitch side to reflect on the 90 minutes, and hopefully that will be good news too. And then the post-match show will also be available to listen to in the reaction later on the club's official podcast platform. You can listen to that on your way into work tomorrow, and you can watch the full game on LFC TV from midnight tonight. And don't miss the Premier League review show. That's Neil Mellor's excellent analysis. It's tomorrow, that one, at 6 p.m. Right, we are 50 minutes or thereabouts away from kick-off here. Liverpool hosting Tottenham Hotspur. It's a game we know produces goals.
Miller's header, it's going to come to Whelan, and Whelan makes it 3-1. And that is the championship now.
Oh, John Arnorita. He'll have a go. Oh, wonderful goal. Sammy Hupia. Robertson's there and scores again for the second week running. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. Same for Fernando Torres. Dirk Kuyt. Alapa Gakpo. And Luis. Oh, yes, what a goal. What a finish that is. Now Luis Suarez runs clear. And Luis Suarez makes Tottenham pay. It's McAllister. Oh, he is such a talent. It's a goal to take your breath away from Harvey Elliott. Diogo Jota, who's inside the penalty area and scores! Absolutely incredible! Salah will go in his way. Salah's been here! He just had to score today. Liverpool are the champions of the Premier League.
Yeah, it certainly is a game we're looking forward to today, and hopefully it's one that Liverpool will find fairly straightforward. But when have we ever seen that in the Premier League this season? Right across the board, it's a big afternoon as well. The results you'll be looking at elsewhere, by the way. Let's just take a quick look at those results yesterday that went in Liverpool's favour. The only goal, or the only game rather, with any goals in at the moment comes at Old Trafford. Manchester United with form at the moment, beating Aston Villa by 3-1. What it does mean, regardless of how fortunate perhaps the landscape is elsewhere, Phil Thompson, is that Liverpool have to do their job today.
Yeah, they do it. I was hoping for a draw, I must admit, in that game. But if you just feel as though Manchester United have done really well to do what they've done, but you always feel they're just getting away with it. Villa, I find it hard to get any sort of result, but it's down to us. I was saying just before, we've got to forget about anybody else, just do our jobs, make sure that we win. Everybody's just expecting Spurs to roll down, us tickle the bodies, and it's not going to be like that. We've got to make sure that we make it uncomfortable for them. So it is about us, and it's a huge game today. We just need 3 points.
If you believe in anything where history is concerned, Kells, this is a game that always seems to offer drama. And like Arne Slot says in his programme notes, they're a wounded beast. Liverpool might be a bit of a wounded beast themselves after midweek, but 209 goals in 67 games between these two. Liverpool have scored 127 of them, and at Anfield we've outscored Spurs 73-34. History is on our side, but sometimes that doesn't count for anything when you play in the very next game.
Yeah, I mean, they're incredible stats. And there was a game back in 2009, I think, where we got a 0-0 here, and I marked Gareth Bale. So that wasn't one with the goals. I was just thinking about that then. But the goals, I think, especially when Ange was here, and they was really 4-4-2, expressive under Tottenham. And over the years, remember being on the bench when John Flanagan scored that in the 5-1 win. That was just incredible when we went on that run and just never got over the line that year. But these games, I think, Tottenham supporters, although they haven't got much silverware, to think that they was in, the Champions League final with us in 2019, and now they're staring down the face of getting dragged into a relegation battle, it's baffling, really. But it shows you how hard the Premier League is. I think in that dressing room today, they're probably looking at the 0-0s in their results and going, if we get a draw here, we can stay in and amongst it. With the games that they've coming up, they'll look at that. But I think the games in the past that we've gone against Tottenham, for any neutral, for any of us being here, and one of them games, it's all set up to be the same again today. I think there is going to be goals today. I think mostly because of the players that are playing for the Tottenham side, who probably haven't played the best part of 2-3 games with each other. So it's going to be a real tough day for them today. Our lads who's got their opportunity today, they've just got to grab it. I'm just buzzing to see Rio showcase his talent on a game like today.
Well, it is a game that serves up such entertainment on a fairly consistent basis, but Arne Slot has been speaking this week about that, and of course, as Steve so eloquently reminded us a little bit earlier, this was a fixture that was pretty special last year.
It wasn't only special for me, it was special for a lot of people. Yeah, there's a big difference between where we are now and where we were then. That's clear and obvious. but it's a great memory. But I'm looking forward to the game because playing at home at Anfield is always something to look forward to, and we have a point to prove because the last game in the league we've lost, the last game in the Champions League we've lost, and then now playing in front of our own fans is something we will always find special. I think the bar at Liverpool is always high. Has always been high and will always be high, and that's only a good thing. We're a top club where the bar should be set high by the people around us, but we will set the bar just as high. And yeah, indeed, last season we were able to achieve one of the things we wanted to achieve, and that was winning the league, close to winning the League Cup, which we lost in the final against Newcastle. And this season, of course, we were unable to win the league again, but we're still in two cups, Champions League and the FA Cup, where we are competing.
And you've scored 4 goals or more at home to Spurs the last 4 times you've played them at Anfield. What is it about this game that leads to a lot of goals, particularly for you, but generally as well?
Then you have to look at how the games went and who the manager was and what the playing style of the other team was. I think, if I'm correct, the last 2 times Ange Postecoglou was their manager, and I think he's known for a different style of football than we mainly see in the Premier League at the moment. Yeah, then games are a bit more open, as the game Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea was also very open because 2 teams want to attack, want to press. But that's not so common anymore in football, that 2 teams want to play in that style against each other. So I'm expecting in 2 days a different Tottenham in terms of setup, playing style, formation than a year ago. I think if Tottenham were number 1 in the league at the moment, every fan would expect us at home to win. And that if we play against Man City, that's when we play against Arsenal, that's every game this club plays at home, we're expected to win. And that has nothing to do with the form of the other team or where they are in the league or the quality they have. We can win our 1500th, that's what it was, wasn't it? Game at home. So yeah, expectations come from history, and history has shown that this club has been able to win a lot of games, let alone home games. So it doesn't matter who we face, expectations are always sky high at this club, and that's what we are embracing, because that also means, as I said before, that this club is able to win things, and that's what we've done in the past few years, and in history as well.
Well, he's spinning a lot of plates at the moment, isn't he, Arne Slot, with another week. I think it's the 5th this season where he has 3 games in the space of 7 days. So this is the way we think it will line up this afternoon. And just in terms of the balance of Liverpool, perhaps it's Rio Engamo who does get that start today, who plays on the right-hand side, and that familiarity around the Liverpool midfield 3 inverts on the left.